Mackey and Judd, where every Tuesday we go through lists of people that we think get it and don't get it in and around the. Whoops. Sorry, I hit the wrong button there.
Oh my God! It's just typical Mackey. Typical Mackey's trying to trade Kirk again.
Let's start. I want to do a little Wolves with you guys here because
I
was consuming Karl-Anthony Towns over the weekend, but I've got a couple Wolves things here on who gets it, who doesn't. I'll start with this one. Today is the 1-year anniversary of a man who absolutely gets it as Timberwolves head coach. And it's probably his fifth appearance on who gets it, who doesn't for me in the last year. Chris Finch gets it. So today is the day they wound up firing Ryan Saunders. Was it after that Knicks game? February 21st.
They flew him out there and fired his ass and then private jetted him back to town.
So dumb. So they knew he was going to get canned.
I feel bad for him.
No, and he's a good dude. So 10, let me do some math.
Great.
10, 13. What was it, last 23 games of last season? So 15.
Carry the 2.
The 2. So the Wolves were
transfer the 1.
11 and 13. So they are, I believe, exactly 500 over 82 games. The last 82 games. He's coached 100, but they're basically exactly 500 over the last 82 games as Chris Finch as head coach. And you might say, oh, that's a pretty low bar. Yeah, that's where the franchise is at. He has taken a team that got a coach fired in part because of injuries and stuff, but he's molded this thing. They are very much in the hunt in the Western Conference. They're going to make at least the play-in game. And I think Chris Finch brings this. I don't know if you guys saw it, but Karl-Anthony Towns, after he won the three-point contest, someone gave him a phone, and Chris Finch was on speaker as he walked back to the backstage area. And, Finchy, and if you could hear Finch on speakerphone all happy, the connection he has built. And Ryan built a good connection as well. I don't think he was ready to be a head coach yet. The connection he has built with this team, while also being hard on them and demanding more. I mean, he'll get into Cat, he'll get into D'Lo, he'll bench Anthony Edwards, but still keeps the respect of those guys. I know the way that they hired him was clunky and awkward, and they bypassed a bunch of different protocols that you're supposed to go through, and they got hammered for it, but it was the right move, and it was a great hire, and this team only continues to get better. So Chris Finch, happy 1-year anniversary as the Timberwolves coach.
Gerson.
Finchy gets it, man.
Gerson, man. Gerson.
Executive of the year.
It's unbelievable. Gerson built a nice roster.
I know.
Hired a good coach.
By the way, if you just take, let's see here. So they were 15. They won 8 of their last. They went 8-7 down the stretch last year. So if you tack that on, that means they are 39 and 35 over the last 74 games.
Get it.
39 and 35.
It's ready.
Over the last. Let's get it, baby.
There it is.
LFG.
No, coming back on the break on Thursday.
LFG. LFG. That sounds like a wolf that got hit by a semi-truck and is still alive.
That sounds like something else to me.
Years
but
of
that's
Wolves basketball right there.
Yeah.
I gave you the short course, the Cliff Notes. 19 years of Wolves basketball.
So Chris Finch, Finchy gets it.
Right. I'll jump in line here. Because it'll piggyback perfectly off what Phil just said. Know who gets it? The Minnesota winter sports scene. For having something to cheer for just the second time in the last 30 years. I'm gonna take you down a little history lesson here. 2018 was the last time the Wild and the Wolves both made the playoffs. That was in the first year, the Jimmy Butler year. The Wild played the Jets, got ousted in 5 games. And in fact, if memory serves right, I believe the Wolves beat the Rockets for their first playoff win, and the Wild beat the Jets all within a 24-hour window, and everything looked hunky-dory. Now, obviously, both teams ended up bowing out in 5 games. But this is just the third time in the last 30 years that both the Wild and Wolves look like they're going to be playoff teams in the same year. They were playoff teams in 2018, 2003. You have to go back to 2003, the last time both of these teams made the postseason. And now the Wild look like they had the leg up. They could potentially, honestly, make a run in the Western Conference. And the Wolves kind of look like this fun bunch that's nice to be here because they've been mostly just terrible over the last 5 to 10 years. Mm-hmm. But now there's something to root for here. And damn it, we deserve it. We're not getting baseball anytime soon. That's for sure. I don't care how long they're sitting in a meeting.
Let's get some playoff runs. Let's get some playoff runs, especially from the Wild. Let's get a nice extended playoff run.
And what are you most like? I know my answer, but what's more intriguing to you this June? If let's assume that our winter teams go deep but bow out or something. June baseball when it comes back, or like Kevin O'Connell, mini camp. Give me football off season all day long, along with the winter sports. We don't need baseball. Baseball, we'll see you in 2023. Twins, I don't know what to say about you. You haven't won a playoff game.
I am excited in June for one thing, two things actually. Surly at the Saints game.
Yeah, me and Jed.
Dex and I will be on the berm, catching home run balls. Shirts on. So Ross, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, Ross. Ross, you cannot. Yeah.
It'll be Dex and I.
Well, he can come. He just can't. He can't have his shirt off.
No, I'm not taking a chance. I'm not taking a chance. I'm not taking a chance of Ross.
Sorry, Ross.
Disrobing. So yes, but yeah. Well, and that's the great thing. Vikings OTAs actually hold intrigue.
Yeah,
you're right about that.
That's great. Yeah. All right, Judd. Who gets it? Who doesn't?
Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of a twist on this to go back to something that I discussed with Declan yesterday, but I'd like to get Phil's thoughts here. And it's a who could get it? And I'm going to go with the aforementioned Karl-Anthony Towns. And here's why. Phil, this guy, I know it's skills competition. I hate them. But that being said, this guy won the 3-point contest. Like
with
that is
ease, by the way, ease,
and that's remarkable. Like that is like he's not a big man. He is a center. Like he is not a when Love won this contest, it was impressive, but he was a power forward, and so that doesn't come as a complete shock now. A center won this, and here's my thought: this guy is so God-gifted, talented. And has such a skill set that is unique, and he's not the only guy, but he's probably within like 3 people to a handful with this specialist skill set. That if Karl-Anthony Towns, if this team makes the playoffs and he drops the antics, right? Like we get rid of the flopping and we get rid of that was a foul. I'm going to stand here till I'm done complaining.
Yeah.
And he just plays and he applies himself. With that skill set, I think that he could finally get the attention he deserves nationally. Like if the Wolves play a playoff TNT game, all right, and Karl just shuts up and plays, and we see the skill set, the 3-pointers, his ability. His abilities are unbelievable.
Yes,
I think the TNT studio crew will pivot to, oh my God, this is what we have said.
Yes.
But I hope he does, because he deserves that. His abilities deserve that. If the antics just go away, and I don't think it's that hard. Like it's a lot of extra fluff stuff that we don't need. So Karl-Anthony Towns could get it if he gets rid of the other stuff and just allows his abilities to speak for him.
I just did a quick little search on Basketball Reference here too. So here, I'll give you a piggyback off that. Who gets it? So Karl-Anthony Towns, you say who could get it. I say he gets it as a shooter for sure. He is the greatest shooting big man in the history of the NBA, statistically. So here's the search I just did. 3-point era, so going back to the 1979-1980 season. Centers and forwards who are 6'10 or taller. And you know what? I think Kevin Durant should be on this list, but he might be listed as more of like a. Let me run this again. But if you run it with just centers and forwards who are 6'10 or taller, the only 6 guys in NBA history for a career that are over 35% 3 points.
Yep.
And Towns is at 40%, by the way, for his career. Are Towns, Channing Frye, Mehmet Okur, Kelly Olynyk, Nikola Jokic, and Nikola Vucevic. That's it. No 7-footer who plays center or center forward shoots at this clip. And just for fun, I'm going to run this with forwards too. I just want to see like all players, because Kevin Durant's like 7 feet tall too, isn't he? Yeah. So all players who are that tall, if you start to add those guys in, then you get like Michael Porter. The only guys above him are like Peja Stojakovic, who's 6'10", Matt Bonner, who's a part-time sniper shooter, and like Michael Porter Jr. So like wing players that are taller that are sort of shooting specialists. That's the mix of players he's in. He's like a Peja Stojakovic shooter that can also work inside and rebound, et cetera, et cetera. So to your point, and I saw him after he won it. He points over to Shaq on the microphone. Shaq, I told you the Vegas had it wrong, and Shaq was destroying him on the Inside the NBA postgame show during the Rockets playoff series, rightfully so, for not showing up and dominating. And so it's kind of on him, man. Like, if you can just be a cyborg and quit complaining about calls, which is what he's been better at the last couple months, he's showing the world what he can be, and part of it is support system, too. He needs the coach that buys into him. He needs teammates like Anthony Edwards and D'Lo that put their arm around him and prop him up. So it was so fun to watch that culmination. I mean, he broke the record for most points in a 3-point contest.
He should be considered a superstar.
Got to do something in the playoffs first, though.
I agree completely, and that includes toughening up and just saying, you know what, I'm playing basketball. I can't ref. I'm big. I'm going to get hit, and at times, because I'm big, I'm not going to get the calls. But I think if he does that, he can and should start to get the recognition he deserves. And imagine the step that this franchise has the potential to take if he does that.
Yeah, that was a blast. That was a blast. All right, Declan, who gets it? Who doesn't?
I will go back to another who gets it, and Phil, I think, read a trade request trade proposal, I should say, from these guys about a few weeks back. The Hockey Whisperer is looking in his crystal ball and was thinking about potential Wild trades with Claude Giroux. But again, the same outlet is now throwing more steam on Claude Giroux to the Minnesota Wild. So I'll tell you who gets it. It's Lyle Richardson of Bleacher Report, embracing the reckless speculation lifestyle and also looking at how the Wild can be cup contenders. He says Claude Giroux to the Minnesota Wild, and he mentions that on February 9th, their roundtable also predicted a similar trade. But he says with $11.8 million in projected deadline cap space, the Wild have more than enough to absorb what's left of Giroux's cap hit. It remains to be seen what the asking price the Flyers have set, but it would be worthwhile for Wild GM Bill Guerin to give this some serious consideration. The Wild sit second in the West. They haven't advanced past the second round since 2003, and their fans are hungry for a winner. Giroux's versatility means they could plug him anywhere within their top 9, giving them invaluable depth and additional scoring punch for a run at the damn Stanley Cup. Judd.
Reckless speculation.
Get the flag. Get the flag. Get the
flag.
Get the flag. Let's go.
Give me the flag. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, fella.
Hit that microphone.
Hold on.
There we go.
So who are the three? I was hanging out, by the way, with our. I spent Monday at our Hubbard St. Louis stations, just helping them with some digital content. And 101 ESPN is one of our sports stations here, and they're all excited about. Like, the Blues are in the mix on Giroux. So it's basically he's picking between, like, well, he's not picking necessarily, but like it's three teams in the division basically that he's.
So he has a complete no move clause. So he is going to dictate ultimately where he goes. It's supposedly Colorado choice 1, but they got cap problems and you would have to defer some of the cap and blah blah blah. The Wild and Blues next.
Wild.
So you're right. He is picking, and those 3 teams, and him going to the Blues could be a real problem too.
That'd be an issue.
Well, I think it's a problem if either of those teams.
Yeah, well, Colorado is too, but I mean, I think Colorado's so good. But like, if the Wild and Blues meet, the Wild should win. I think. I'll be disappointed,
especially if they have Giroux.
Oh yeah, but I'm just saying, if the Wild plays the Avs. I think that they should be competitive, but if they go down in 6 or 7 games, I'm not going to be surprised. Yeah. If they play the Blues and go out first round, I'll be pissed. Like, I will be pissed off. That's not going to sit well. And look, the Blues are good. The Blues can beat you, but I'm so sick of the excuses. Oh, we tried hard. This team is above that. Go beat the Blues.
Yeah. Give us one more here, Judd. Who gets it? Who doesn't?
Who doesn't get it? I'm going to lump this whole thing together. Who doesn't? College sports. I am so sick. And now this stems from the Juwan Howard punch that hit the Wisconsin assistant coach. he got suspended for 5 games. But I am so sick of not college sports as competition, but how it's treated and like how we're appalled. What's going on? It's college sports. College sports are pro sports. Let's just get past this whole BS of being like shocked by what takes place. Okay. College sports are probably because there's more under the table stuff. They are probably in some ways more corrupt than pro sports. So like, I'm so tired of how we try and treat college sports. Like, oh, it's amateurs and amateurs should shake hands. You know what? If they can't, just don't shake hands. But look, I'm also really tired of these old school college coaches and stuff who are like, I'm teaching kids. No, you're not. You're making millions. You know what? If you're not, if you really think I'm teaching young men and young players to be successful, then you know what? Then take a salary reduction or something. I'm so tired of this whole notion of amateur athletics, and it's not anymore.
Are you guys blaming? Did you guys talk about like specifically the Juwan Howard, Greg Gard stuff?
We talked about that too, and then Gard didn't get suspended, which I don't know how he didn't get suspended too.
I mean, here's where I'm at kind of with this, just for fun. Nobody asked me, but I have takes on this. Juwan Howard slapped somebody in the head, like you can't just like get away unscathed there, but he tried to just sort of blow. He was pissed, he was heated, and he just wanted to blow by Greg Gard.
Yep.
And just he made some comment, whatever, like the game's over, let him cool off. And Greg Gard had to grab him by the arm, and I'm gonna explain this. It's like, I'm pissed. Get your hands off me.
Yep.
And then things. And I am not exonerating Juwan Howard, but I think people are. And the Wisconsin statement that came out yesterday, doubling down on the shame on.
Yes.
You know what, Greg Gard, don't put your hands on Juwan Howard.
Absolutely. And for doing that, Gard should get at least a game, if not 2 games.
Yeah, I know people are like, well, some of their other exchanges, he's an elbow grabber, like he'll shake your hand and grab your elbow. It's like, dude, he's pissed. He's heated.
Yeah.
You know that he's pissed. Just let him blow by you. Don't grab him and stop him in that situation.
But this whole thing of I'm molding young minds. You're making millions of dollars to coach and ultimately try and win games.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm so tired of this. It's amateur athletics. No, it's not.
Yeah. We got random season recall coming up here. A shout out to our friends at Federated Mutual Insurance Company. They have powered who gets it, who doesn't. Who gets it? Federated. They get that businesses need protection to get to the next level when it comes to risk. It's like having a good offensive line for your business that's been around for over 100 years. Respected, credible, all kinds of resources and people that you can find at federatedinsurance.com. Also, St. Thomas you can hear St. Thomas basketball and hockey games on SKOR North Radio in the Twin Cities. Conference tournaments coming up. You can always find St. Thomas tickets at tommysports.com. tommysports.com. All right, we're bringing it back by popular demand. It's been like a month since we've done this. And people are like, I miss Random Season Recall. Where is Random Season Recall? It's where Declan tries
Are people clamoring
to the test. Absolutely.
Awesome. I didn't know
I've
that.
received like 5 emails like, that's one of my favorite segments. Where'd it go?
Oh, It's back. I didn't know that. Good.
So we had so much going on there in January with the Vikings that we just kind of pushed it aside. And we still have a lot going on with the Vikings. But Random Season Recall, where Declan goes back into Minnesota sports seasons past and quizzes us on the details. Go ahead, Dex.
All right. Well, we hate baseball right now, but what we don't hate is past Minnesota Twins teams to a degree. Let's go with the 1997 Minnesota Twins. I want you guys to really dig deep here. Really, really dig deep for Random Season Recall.
Good for Phil because you were 12, 13. That's a sweet spot.
11, 12. So I do remember watching a lot of mid-90s Twins, but those rosters turned over so oddly every year. It was hard to those were games in like 97 where they'd put some of them on pay-per-view even. You have to pay like $3 to watch a crappy Twins game.
I paid once in a while.
Against the Brewers, yeah. My dad would always get me, my dad, we'd go to games together, but he'd call me and be like, hey, I live with my mom and stepdad, and he'd be like, hey, I bought the Twins game for you tonight. Enjoy.
Coming up next on Twins Vision.
God. MSC, man. Midwest Sports Channel.
All right, so this is Just to put some context here, I believe this is Knobloch's last season. I think he was traded after. So this was another disastrous campaign for the boys.
Yep, it was bad.
So
Yeah, how many wins for that 97 Twins team? I'll put 3 on either side, by the way.
And I'm going to defer to Phil here. He's far superior to me at guessing some in ballpark.
And a lot.
I know they lost somewhere between 90 and 100. They didn't lose 100. Pretty sure they lost between 90 and 100.
95 or something.
Yeah, I mean 95 is the safe guess because we would then get 3 on either side.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's try to think of let's just say 95. No, hold on. I want to nail it.
I need the wins too, by the way. So.
Oh, sorry.
So
yeah,
if you're doing
but we're working backwards here. We're working backwards.
Then give me the actual.
This is a discussion among friends. Butt out, Goff.
So one of those years they went. I'm pretty sure they went 66 and 96. In one of those years they had a really good offense. What was 90? So Puckett's last year was 95,
and the 96 team tore the cover off the ball. The pitching stunk.
Yep, 96. They were feisty. They had Molitor. They had Steinbach. They had Knobloch.
Yep.
And then 97, they also had Molitor. They had no pitching though.
Right, and they still had. And I think this is Chuck's last year, so they still had some nice components.
Yeah.
But they definitely fell flat, and then I think that's when Chuck said, "Trade me."
Let's go. So 67 and 95, somewhere in there, because of the pitching. Let's go 67 wins.
Yeah.
68 wins. 68
Oh,
and 94.
yeah.
68 and 94.
Right.
I feel like I helped them.
No.
I feel like I
get
did
it.
help.
Let's
I'm
get
glad.
it.
There you go.
Let's go.
So that Twins team was dead last. This will surprise you. In home runs hit that season. They only hit 132 home runs. Well, dead last in the American League because Baseball Reference shows you the ranks in the AL. So they were 14th out of 14th in home runs. But 8 players still had double-digit home runs. 8.
Okay.
Can you give me 4? Can you give me 4 of those names?
Okay.
8 had double-digit home runs.
Yep.
Okay, so hey,
This is between just Judd and I here.
I need 4.
Outfield wise, is Lawton there yet?
I think this is. Let's throw out some names here. Yeah. So just between Judd and I. So Matty Lawton might have been young.
Molitor was there.
And Molitor probably he would have been. I don't think he hit 10, but we'll see. Nabi probably.
No.
did.
I don't think Przinsky's there yet.
I'll bet you Nabi had 10 bombs.
All right.
Coomer probably had.
Oh.
Was this the year that? No, 98 would have been the Coomer All-Star year.
99.
99.
99 in Boston.
Oh, what year did Dave Hollins play third base? Was that 97?
But and then I think he broke his hamate bone. Did he play? Did he play the entire? I don't remember how many games he would have played.
Also, was Pat Muir still playing for the Twins in 1997?
Yeah, I think he was because they didn't offer him a contract, and he got picked up by like Pittsburgh, I think in '98ish.
So we get 3 incorrect guesses here.
Yep.
Let's start with Nabi. Chuck Knobloch had a big year in '97.
Yes.
9
Really?
home runs for Nabi. 9.
Are you serious?
Didn't he bat like
9.
340 or something?
And he had a ton of
great year.
doubles. He
Great
had like
slash line.
a ton of doubles, right?
291, 390, 411. Great. Great year for Nabi. 26 doubles, 10 triples. Yeah, good job, Judd.
Stole a bunch of bases that year?
84 walks, 62 stolen bases.
62.
Just a
I was gonna
ridiculous
say,
year.
I believe I owned him in rotisserie baseball. I can tell you all about my team if you guys would like to hear about my
I'm good.
97 rotisserie baseball.
A 6.8 WAR, wins above
Full-price
replacement
league,
for
too.
Nabi that year. Pretty damn good year.
Oh, and he hit 9.
He hit 9.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so there's other guys in here like Roberto Kelly. Wasn't he on this team?
See, this is the problem: is all of those guys that came, the veterans that Terry would get and then move.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty. It was like all around this time, but I don't remember particular years for guys like Hollins and Kelly. I mean, hell, didn't he sign Otis Nixon at one point in time?
Yeah. Yes. I'm pretty sure that was one of these years.
Not that he had much pop in his bat. So Outfield wise, Phil. Outfield wise.
Matty Lawton, Pedro Munoz, or was that earlier in the decade?
Was
earlier.
He was around in like 91,
Okay, so
92, so he's probably gone by now.
David Ortiz wouldn't have been on this team this early.
Fun fact, he was. He played in 15 games and hit 327 with a home run.
Yeah.
21-year-old David Ortiz.
Okay. Stop for a second then. Ortiz was acquired from Seattle in the Dave Holland or Roberto Kelly trade. So that answers your question. I think it was it Roberto Kelly who went to Seattle?
Okay.
Somebody went to, because Terry stole Ortiz, which is ironic in retrospect.
I'm pretty sure Ron Coomer had to have, in some form, hit 10 home runs. Here.
All right.
Coom Dog?
Ron Coomer.
The Coom Dog. Yes, that is one. I need 3 more. He had 13 bombs, 85 ribs.
Okay.
298.
And
I guess Molitor maybe hit 11 or something. I mean, we almost have to guess Molitor.
Yeah.
He's their best hitter.
Molly?
Paul Molitor.
Yep.
Paul Molitor at 40 years old. 10 home runs for Molitor.
Yep.
Nice.
Give me 2 more.
I got his autograph outside the players'
Hey.
parking lot in 1997. It's great. Matt Lawton.
So not Knobloch.
I'm just trying to think of the history of Matt Lawton with the Twins. Just feels early because they traded him in like
It might be-
2000. Well, they traded him in 01, so I guess he had been around
Yeah.
for a little bit.
Yep.
Steiny. What about Steiny? Terry Steinbach. He was on the team.
Yep. That's a good one.
Terry
Steinbach.
Steinbach.
Yeah, Steinbach's a good one.
12 bombs for Steiny. Give me 1 more.
I love all these guys.
Okay.
I want to run the table here.
So I think the outfield in 97, I think you're right. I think Lawton was up, and because he got traded in 01.
Okay.
When did Jack Jones come up?
Around this time, but we have to get to Doogie here, so I guess we do it. Like we have. Like,
And by the way,
Oh,
we
that's
have
right, I forgot.
We have
forgot
a
about
St.
that.
Thomas basketball game at 11:45 pregame show, and it's 11 a.m. right now. So just
Okay,
letting
so you gotta get out
little
of the
on-air
studio.
production meeting. Little on-air production meeting.
All right. Clock here. Let's. Okay, Judd, you throw a guess out.
Matt Lawton.
Okay.
Matt Lawton.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Matt Lawton.
right.
Okay. Can I get just for fun? Dave Hollins.
Dave Hollins.
Okay. All right. Let's hear it. Okay.
Marty Cordova.
Oh.
Scott Stahoviak.
Son of a...
Scott Stahoviak. Rick
Damn it.
Becker.
Rich Becker.
Rich Becker was still
Rich
around?
Becker. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Last one. I'll do this one quickly here. So Brad Radke had a hell of a year that year. Won 20 games. 3rd in Cy Young voting in 1997. Who were the 2 pitchers that finished above him? So not Twins players, obviously, but who are the 2 pitchers that finished above Brad Radke to win for first and second in Cy Young voting? 2 pretty
this is-
prominent names.
Pedro Martinez, I think.
Yep.
He was with the
Yep,
Red
yep.
Sox by this
Let's
point.
guess that.
Pedro
That's good.
Martinez.
Pedro.
I'll give you 2 more incorrect guesses.
Clemens with the Blue Jays or something.
Yeah, just keep that.
Clemens won the award, and who finished second?
David Wells. Was this the Wells? No, it was 98. Was his perfect
Yeah,
game.
Wells
Perfect
did not
game.
qualify this year.
Bartolo Colon. Oh, Randy Johnson.
There you go.
All right.
There
All right.
you go.
Great stuff.
All right.
Hell
All right, we
yeah.
gotta go. We gotta go.
We gotta go. We
Okay,
gotta
Mackie
go.
and
Bye.
Judd, thanks for hanging out with us here. We'll be back with some Write That Down predictions tomorrow.